You're listening to Changing the Way We Support Parents, a Boys Town podcast. Every parent feels it, that mix of pride and nerves as college gets closer. Today we'll share some trusted, practical ways to help your teen build confidence and life skills for this exciting but sometimes bumpy road ahead.
Welcome, everybody. We are back with our Changing the Way We Support Parents podcast. And I'm joined by the lovely Bridget Barnes, who is the director of our Common Sense Parenting program. Welcome, Bridget.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Our topic is launching today, and it's that time for parents when they're sending their child off to college that they've spent the last 18 years raising and doing a wonderful job, and now their children are off and ready to join the world and go to college if they are choosing to go to college. So very appropriate for this time of year. Why is this such a difficult transition for parents and kids, Bridget?
Well, it's that time where the child is taking on some independence. It's a natural rite of passage. Doesn't mean it's easy.
Right.
So that you're giving up some responsibility for your child. You have such great pride in what they've done and where they're going, but that doesn't take away the anxiety that you might be feeling at that time. And so many parents that come to our classes, like yourself, feel a sense of loss, and you should.
Yeah.
It's okay. You should go ahead and feel that.
It is crazy. You do
Right.
feel a sense of loss and a sense of just sadness, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
To deal with the anxiety of, is my kid ready? Have I given them all the tools? I think it's important, at least here at Boys Town, we do a technique or a strategy of building a senior planner. And in the planner, you talk about things that you've taken for granted, like they know when to brush their teeth or see a doctor or how to budget their money. And so I think having that senior planner where the child is filling that out, maybe a year to 6 months ahead of them leaving your home is always a good idea. But if you haven't done it yet, it's never too late to do anything. And to go over that and have those conversations that lowers your anxiety and that lets the child feel like, yes, I do know what I'm supposed to do. Because a lot of kids don't know how to reach out and get help, like how to make that phone call about paying that bill or seeing a doctor. Right. So I think having a senior planner might be good. Taking time to have some listening tours with your kid when you're visiting the college. And you guys went to visit the colleges?
Yes, many colleges.
many colleges, I'm sure. Long before now, long before the child is leaving. But don't be afraid to go and revisit places. Go back to my old school. Go back to things that you used to do together. And just have conversations and talk to keep that connection, to say, I'm still here. I've changed my role a little bit, but I'm still here.
Yeah, I love that. And I think on parenting.org, we have a list of conversations that you should have before they head to college. And it's nice because, very similar to the senior planner, it covers some of those things you might not think about.
Right.
You might not think that changing a tire or, what do you do if this? What do you do if this?
Right.
It's a nice checklist to go through.
And it's nice
for some peace of mind.
There's something out there that I can go to.
Right.
Because a lot of times you just feel you're all alone with all these feelings and these anxieties and your kid's leaving and you feel like maybe I haven't done all I could do. But if you go to our parenting.org site or you go to Your Life, Your Voice or Healthy Futures, you will see that, no, I might have done all those things. Check. Oh, this one thing, I think I'm going to invest in that.
Yeah. So what conversations should they have? Speaking of, what are some of those conversations that parents should have with their children before they're leaving?
Like I mentioned, we want to have that financial conversation, some of the hard ones, finance. So talk about budgeting. Talk about teaching your child the difference between I want and I need.
Oh, that's a very important conversation.
Some of us grown folks have difficulty with
Teenage
that.
girls have no idea what that difference is. Yes.
Right, I really need that lipstick. I totally understand. But it's important to talk about those things and to process through them.
Right.
Get a credit card, because I felt like my son was just besieged on by credit card people.
Yes.
I don't know if they've got a list of people going away to college and let's all attack them now, but I think it's important to get a credit card that has a limit on it, talk about how to use it, talk about what are the consequences for overusing something or going beyond what you should be doing, and who's responsible for that.
Right.
Don't be a fixer in regards to if your child makes a mistake, there's some natural and logical consequences when they do those things. I think it's important to talk about, essential life skills, like being able to make 3 meals, at least not takeout.
Right.
My son was like, takeout, DoorDash. I'm like, you don't have that kind of money.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how to make meals and practicing with the child before they leave. Let's make 3 essential meals. And they don't have to be elaborate, but they should be there. How to clean your house consistently.
Yes.
I think that's important. So I think it's important to have those kind of conversations about life and the things that we take for granted, like finances, about, our health care, just keeping clean, and about relationships that kids will be able to develop at school, and how not to feel pressured by those relationships.
Right. What about mental health? I feel like that's a really important conversation to have when kids are leaving, in terms of, where to find resources and when to reach out. And, the Boys Town National Hotline is a fabulous resource, and they have a website, yourlifeyourvoice.org, that has a lot of really great resources on there for teens. And it's, I've walked my children both through that, and I've added that number to their phone.
Great.
But also, I think colleges are offering so much more nowadays for mental health. Making sure your child knows what those are and how to get into those and when to get into those, before they even set foot on campus is a really important.
Yeah, we go around and see the student union building and other things where the football.
See where the food is.
Yes, exactly.
Mental health.
Exactly. But going to the healthcare facility, and also making sure that you are their emergency person.
Right.
Just because you think I'm their parent, when they go off to college, that does not mean you have access to their healthcare decisions. And a lot of parents don't know that. So you want to make sure that you're on that. Make sure that your child knows where to get help. Initially, maybe you start with your residential assistant. If you have one in your dorm, if you're living in the dorm, your church is a good place to go. If you're going to church while you're away from home, let's talk to our clergy there. Then, going to our mentors who, your professors and other people that you trust. There's so many ways to get that kind of support that is not the official or, someone that, is therapeutic, but then knowing when to go get that therapeutic support.
Yeah.
And sometimes I put those people in place in my child's life so they can say to them, I think we need to get help with this. Because sometimes when I say it,
Right.
oh,
What do you
Mom, right? And so when their residential assistant says that, or when their coach says it, then they go, okay, maybe I do need help with this.
Yeah. Very, very important.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about healthy boundaries. So healthy boundaries around financial support in college. I know that's a conversation we're having right now of, we're helping to support in college, which includes food, which includes housing. Outside of that, not very much. And, so that's going to be a learning curve. Those conversations I think are so important. Talk us through that and how parents set boundaries early, and the importance of discussing that before they go, so that it's understood and well known on both parties.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail on the head in regards to having that conversation ahead of time. What is my responsibility when you're away at college, as far as your housing, as far as food is concerned, your books, things like this? And what is your responsibility? And not taking that on yourself as a parent when they make mistakes in that area.
Right.
If they have a budget, you've gone over it with them, they know what it is, but they decided, I want to go to this concert or they want to do whatever, then they're going to have to, know what's plan B.
Right.
Oh, I need to get a job. I need to support
budget.
Yeah. But sometimes kids don't go with the budget. And that's why being more proactive than reactive is your best bet. And that's why I say a year to 6 months for those parents who haven't started the process for kids going off to school is to put in place practicing that. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to be able to do it. Right. And that goes for us as parents, too, because we sometimes just kind of swoop in. We don't want our kid. We paid for the tuition. We paid. And then they make this mistake. And we're like, you need to stay in school. So I'm going to fix this for you. So you really have to avoid being that fixer and be more of a coach where you're saying, okay, now here's your problem. This is what you've done. What are your options?
Yeah.
I don't know what they are. Well, let's talk about what they are.
Talk about our SOTAs method, because I think that's a fabulous thing. I'm a fixer, and I know I will struggle with that when my child is away. Talk about that, helping them problem solve and talk through something in that SOTAs method and how that works.
I think the SOTAs is an excellent tool that we use with kids all the time, not just when they're going away to college, but it would definitely be an excellent tool for kids who are going off to college to learn about how to make good decisions, even under pressure. So the SOTAS stands for, S stands for the situation, getting at what the real situation is and being able to identify that. Sometimes kids are like, I'm going to drop out, and that's not the real problem. Maybe the real problem is like, I don't feel like I'm a part of the college community. I don't feel like I'm making friends here and I'm doing well. Then I can help you identify what the real problem is so we can find the real solution. So first, identify the situation. That's the S. Okay. The O stands for options. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to help you identify what are your options for finding friends or becoming part of the community. You know, are you going to church? Are you joining a group? You know, are you meeting people and making an effort to do that? So have kids
sitting in your dorm room all day long. Maybe that's part
exactly.
Of it.
I mean, I was one of those A students that wanted to get A's in college. So I definitely was that person that really had to, it was great that I went to school with some of my friends who were in my high school. So then we were able to stay in the same dorms and hang out together. But kids can get locked into being afraid to make friends and being isolated, even in college. So options. No more than 3. Don't go overboard. And then talk about the disadvantages of those options. I let my kids give me options that I'm thinking, that's not going to work. But it's okay. Okay, well, you want to put that one on the table? Let's talk about what are the disadvantages of you choosing this particular option. I won't be judgmental about it, but I will matter of fact. And then what are the advantages? That's the A in the SOTAS. So what are the advantages of choosing to make friends, of joining groups, of getting out of your dorm room at least once a day or, when you're not in a classroom? So talking about that and then letting the child make the solution. This is what I'm deciding. What do you think that says to a child when you allow them to make that decision?
It says that every situation has an answer and you can fix it.
And they can fix it.
Can fix it.
And guess what? You trust them to fix it. Trust them. That's a big thing to say to kids who are going off to college. I trust you. You have the skills. You can make this decision. And you can live with the responsibility of the decision you're making.
I love the SOTAS. It's very good. Too. So how do you maintain a close relationship with your child if they're not contacting you very much?
Exactly. And they're going away to college.
Every parent's fear.
Exactly. They can't contact you every moment of the day. Right. But I say I had to learn the art of texting. Exactly. Something my son knows a lot about, but I didn't use a lot. But I was like, okay, I can do that. And then just limiting that, not texting
not
him.
being overboard.
He's like, Mom, why are you writing me this time of day? So I definitely had to learn to, monitor myself and also, FaceTime. I don't have to be there. I can kind of be there and not be there. And so he's like, Mom, look at this. And he would be showing me something. And I'm like, okay, great. And I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm walking the dog or whatever I'm doing. So, a little FaceTime. I think that's good. I think also just going to different campus events, right? That are appropriate for you to be at.
Right.
Also, have your kid bring home their close friends, maybe the close friends you don't know, for a family barbecue or event or whatever, and you get to meet them. I remember all my girlfriends came home and spent the night at my house. We were, had a great time, and my family really enjoyed having them.
Well, how can parents encourage independence while maintaining a steady support system at home? And I'm sure probably over communicating is one of those answers.
Well, I don't think that communication is a problem.
Right.
I always have this open door, like I'm here.
Yep.
And that when I am here, I am a good listener. I am not the fixer. I'm not going
Right.
to repair everything
Right.
you've done, but I am here to be your wingman. And that if, you have a problem, I'm going to listen. I'm going to use my active listening skills and hear my kid out. I think that's important for us to do sometimes, is to be good listeners so that our kids want to talk to us. We're like, why won't he talk to me? Well, because you're doing all the talking.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important thing for us to remember. And like I said, let kids take responsibility for their choices,
Right.
and let them know that you're willing to let them, because they can handle it. We're going to make mistakes. It's okay for kids to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, you failed at that. You made a mistake. What are we going to do? Oh, no, let me change that. What are you going to do about that? My husband says that and my son says, Dad, we have a problem. I'm like, we don't have a problem.
Yeah.
You have a problem that we're willing to listen to and guide you through, but we're not going to take responsibility for it. I don't think we should assume that kids are organized.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, not very much. And my son was pretty sneaky. He was not good at cleaning his space. Right? Not good at all. Right. And he knew that I would not go in there to
Right.
like have dinner in his space, because it was not
Yeah.
clean enough for me.
Yeah.
It was clean enough for him, but
Yeah.
I was like, no.
Yeah.
So he knew I would take him out to dinner.
Oh.
Let's go. And so he purposely not clean this space. So then I got smart and said, okay, when we have to go out to dinner because you won't clean your space, then you know what? You pay.
Oh, there you go.
Right. Some of your allowance is taken.
Yeah.
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 And if it's clean, then I pay.
You'll pay. There you go.
So he was like, I better clean it.
Clean.
Exactly. But, letting them take responsibility over their own behavior. It's a good thing for parents to do, and knowing when to do that. Cleaning up their own space and not going in there, I'm going to clean everything, or send in a Mary maid, or whatever you think you might do.
Yeah.
No. Don't do that. Let them deal with that.
Right.
He's like, Mom, this is really dirty. I'm like, yeah, you should clean it. So what are you going to do? Guess I'm going to the laundromat. Yeah, I guess you should. And it's okay. But I don't have enough money. Well, you probably should save for that.
Well, and we've talked a lot about those things that lead to a messy room. So when you're trying things on to go somewhere for an evening, don't just lay them on your bed or on the floor after you try them on. They are not dirty. Put them back. Put them away.
Oh.
It's the clothes thing, I feel like, is a huge
Exactly.
mess creator in our house.
Yeah, and sometimes just having certain days. There were certain days that I would just shut the door, but other days, like on Wednesday and Sunday, that room needed to be clean. And so same thing happened when he went away. So when I come on this day, and I will come, that's when you need to, she's like, I am vacuuming. And I'm like, good. So I think that setting expectations. I mean, girls, they're going to try on everything, and then they have to rush out. They're going to be clothes on that bed. But knowing, hey, on Wednesday, these clothes need to be put up and put away. And if I make a mess, I'm responsible for it. So I really had to get next to the ideal that I'm not responsible for that. Mom, all my stuff is dirty. Wow. So what are you going to do about that?
Well, I think, too, that's a big thing for how well you're going to get along with your roommates.
Oh,
is making sure that you're, aware of the area that you're building and that people are comfortable
Oh, yeah.
in that space, because
exactly.
that's a huge battle a lot of kids face.
Exactly. Having a roommate, and I had a couple, some of them were really great, some of them not so great, and then I became an RA, so then I had my own space. But I think that learning how to live with other people who are not your family,
Right.
and being respectful to them
Right.
is important. Or when your roommate is not respectful, what
Right.
do you do?
Right.
And using that SOTUS once again
Great. Yeah.
to be able and reaching out for help when you really like, I'm at my wit's end with this
Right.
person. They keep taking my clothes and wearing them.
Right.
Had a roommate did that. And, so definitely those are conversations to
Yeah.
have, and kids are going to experience that. And that's why they're going off to college, to experience those
Right.
things, the good, the bad, and the
Yeah.
ugly
Yeah.
that are there, and how they're going to negotiate that and deal with that.
Yeah. What resources from Boys Town can parents use to help navigate that college transition with confidence?
Don't we have a lot? You mentioned
Yeah.
quite a bit. I first stopped parenting.org.
Mm-hmm.
Get up there. I mean, just a plethora of articles. You can, see what experts have to say, downloadables, all kind of things that are on parenting.org. And of course, I am going to tell you that the Common Sense Parenting classes are there.
Absolutely.
And so, just like yourself,
Yeah.
you learn about the SOTUS, you learn about from other parents what things are out there that I should be getting for my kids, from parents who've already been in that position.
Right.
So, just the camaraderie with other parents and finding out what resources are out there to learning really great parenting skills that you
Right.
can use with your kids.
Yeah.
I think that I also mentioned about Your Life, Your Voice.
Yeah. I can't say enough about the resources on that. They're so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're built, a lot of them directly off of, from a parent side of view. I go to parenting.org and it talks to me about, decision making for
Right.
kids and things like that, and setting expectations. And Your Life, Your Voice is very similar from a child's point of view, and it talks through the decision making. But it has a lot of great resources on, journal prompts if you're feeling stuck in something, if you feel isolated, which I'm sure can happen with a lot of kids in college, how to build out your circle of resources and who you can reach out to for what. It's such fabulous content.
Yeah, so Boys Town has so much out there from our Boys Town Press with a lot of books that help kids with life skills, right? So if you're like, I want to coach them, but I don't know how, there are books at our Boys Town Press also that can help parents and children, young adults, to learn about those skills that might have gotten away from them.
Right.
So I think going up there as well. So
Yeah,
lots
absolutely.
of yeah.
And it's a lot of the content that's on parenting.org is derived from the materials at the Boys Town Press. So
So
it all works together.
I know we're all singing out of the same hymnal, so to
Yes,
speak, but
it
I
all
think
works
that
together.
knowing as a parent, I have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
Not just online, but real humans. I can actually talk to a human about this from this podcast as well, where parents can find out where those resources are. So we're here for you.
Awesome. All right. Well, you've been here for me, and I appreciate it. I will set some good expectations as my daughter is heading off to college and go through the SOTUS.
Is this your
method
last
with her.
one?
This is my second. I have one more.
Yeah, one more.
Who I have a good 5 years before that one goes off. So that's lovely. But yeah, this one's going far away. So I'm excited for her, but also that morning is totally there. It is.
Well, I say to our empty nesters, our parents this is their last child going off to college, it's important for you to get things in your life that you feel right.
Yeah.
Maybe going back to a hobby that you put down.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I picked up my art brushes and I began to paint again. I hadn't done it in quite a while. So I think that finding things again and getting camaraderie with other parents is important.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like I'm crazy or I want to run to that college and see what's going on there.
Yeah.
And it's a scary time to have our kids away from us.
Yeah.
I think so. That's normal for you to feel that way.
Yeah.
But reach out. Know that you're not alone. And know that you have done the work. You have given your child
Faith in your kids.
Yes.
I absolutely agree.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Trust in that.
It's been 18 years of work.
You have done it.
Set up.
And pivot that role. So if you know you've done the work, you've given the skill, and then you pivot your role again a little bit, that this is who I am now.
Yeah.
Right? Fill up your life with a little bit of you.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Yeah. I like the transition from a parent to a coach a little bit. That's kind of keeping that mentality is good.
Yeah. Stay away from that fixer thing.
Yes. Yes. It's hard. But it is true, and they'll learn more that way. You know,
think so.
They will reach that independence, and they will learn more, and they'll be more self-sufficient. And
Yeah, I trust you. I know you've done the good work.
I appreciate that. We'll see. Time will tell, Bridget. Time will tell. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
I appreciate everything. We talked about parenting.org as a resource, the Boys Town Press, which is boystownpress.org, and then yourlifeyourvoice.org. Also, the Boys Town National Hotline is a fabulous resource. We have kids and teens that call there. It's open 24/7. That is a fabulous resource. I have plugged it in to my child's phone.
Have you?
It has a contact on there.
Great.
When I Need Help is the name of it. So they can call that, and they know what kind of help they can get there. But if they're struggling, they're great at putting you in touch with resources. They're great at helping kids out of a really crisis situation.
Yeah.
So a huge tool that every parent should make sure their child has when they're going off to school.
I think it's important. I can remember being away at college and not making the grades I wanted to make and feeling really depressed about that. But there was any place for me to go that I felt like would listen to a young teen. I mean, hotlines back then were like, you were going to, you know. And my parents had to come get me, and then I stayed a week with them, and I was okay. And my dad talked to me about, let's look at this. And, and so I felt better, went back and did well, became an RA and that kind of thing. But kids can make wrong decisions when they feel like they have no place to go. They have no one they can reach out to, and they feel like they're letting their parents down or themselves down.
Yeah.
So having those resources, I'm so glad you put that in your kids' phone.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Thanks. See, I did well. I did well.
Good.
All right. Well, thank you for Bridget,
You're
and thank you everybody for joining us. And we will see you next time.
Okay.
Thanks, Bridget.
Thanks for listening to Changing the Way, a Boys Town podcast. And remember, you can help us make a difference in the lives of children and families by supporting Boys Town. Visit boystown.org today.